Joe, Pence is finally speaking the truth 13 months after the fact. I guess better late than never. But how important was that, do you think, to hear those words from Mike Pence?
Not better than ever, Jim. Look, here's the deal. Pence is right and Trump is wrong. But here's the bigger deal. Mike Pence has absolutely no shot at the Republican nomination in 2024. And if Donald Trump wants the nomination in 24, it's his. Because the sad truth, Jim, is this thing's over. There's no fight for the soul of the Republican Party. It's Trump's party, and it's the party of Trumpism. And you mentioned the censoring of Kinzinger and Cheney. Who spoke up to defend Kinzinger and Cheney? Where was Mike Pence? Where was Ted Cruz? Where was Ron DeSantis? Where was any Republican that wants to run for president? This party can't be saved.
Yeah, Molly, Mike Pence, he just told the truth. I mean, that's what he did yesterday. Instead of kowtowing to Trump, he finally just stated a fact that the vice president can't do this. But Trump has gone after Pence at every turn for failing to object to the election. Let's listen to a bit of that.
Mike Pence, I will tell you right now, I'm not hearing good stories. I only wish that my friend Mike Pence had that additional courage to send the results back to the legislatures.
It was very sad when Mike Pence gave those votes over.
I think Mike has been very badly hurt by what took place with respect to January 6th. I think he's been mortally wounded, frankly, because I see the reaction he's getting from people. They say, why didn't you just hand it back to the legislatures? Why didn't you do it?
Molly, Pence clearly wants to be president one day, but it took him 13 months to state the obvious.
Yeah, I mean, Pence is like a lot of Republicans who know better. A lot of Republicans who know better, but refuse to disavow Trump because it used to be they were afraid of his Twitter. Now there is no Twitter. Now they just are afraid of primary challenges. I mean, at every point, Republicans have had a chance to take to say Trumpism, to disavow Trumpism and go for democracy and say democracy must be protected. This person is anti-democratic. And at every point, they have either said nothing or, tacitly kind of encouraged him. And so we get to a point now where so much of the Republican Party is doubled down on this anti-democratic, voter, pro-voter suppression, count the votes kind of thing, that we're in an impossible situation. You can't have one party that doesn't believe in the central tenet of American democracy. And so I think it's good that Mike Pence said this, and certainly he sees which way the wind is blowing. So there might be something to that, but it's way, way, way too late. And he, at this point, I mean, it's not even clear to me, you need the big guns, you need everyone up there saying that, or else I think it's too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, the wind does not seem to be blowing in the direction of democracy inside the Republican Party, Joe. Let's play how Trump's former chief strategist, Steve Bannon, reacted to Pence's speech.
You're going to carry this thing eventually to your grave, okay? Because it is a mark of shame, and you are a stone-cold coward. A stone-cold coward. Boris Epstein. We're going to start with numbers and analysis, and then this thing broke this afternoon. My head's blown up. So Boris, you got to help me out here, brother. I can't take Pence, and I can't take Pence and Mark Short and all these Koch guys up there ratting out Trump up on Capitol Hill right now.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, Bannon is saying that Pence is going to carry this thing to his grave. I mean, those are code words. That is essentially a threat, is it not?
It is a direct threat, Jim, but here's what everybody listening to you and I need to understand right now. Steve Bannon speaks right there for the Republican Party base. I mean, the majority of hardcore Republican voters, they're with Bannon, they're not with Pence. I wish, and you do a great job of trying to wake the country up, but this election year, Jim, man, we need to wake everybody up to this realization. This party is more Bannon than Pence, and they're on track right now to take control again in 2022 if the rest of America doesn't wake up, get off their ass, and get out and vote.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Bannon is the vice president of the Republican Party right now. I mean, Donald Trump is the president of the Republican Party, and Steve Bannon is the vice president. Essentially, that's the situation. Molly, all this happened on the same day the Republican National Committee voted to censure Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. I mean, using this stunning language in the resolution that, you know, Representatives Cheney and Kinzinger participated in a Democrat-led persecution of ordinary citizens engaged in legitimate political discourse, to which Cheney responded with a video of the rioters saying, this was January 6th, this is not legitimate political discourse. And the RNC is trying to clean it up, saying they didn't mean people who were involved in violence, but they didn't get it right the first time, and it just sounds like cleanup on aisle 6. I mean, it just is pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, they really made the wrong choice, but it continuously for the last 13 months, at every point, the Republican Party has made the wrong choice. They've protected Donald Trump, and they've refused to disavow political violence, which is an easy one. And it's been really hard to watch. And you see ultimately that the base has moved further to the right and further against democracy, too. And it's really just a sort of unbelievable thing to watch. And, you know, 13 months ago, if these people had said, no, political violence is wrong, democracy is right, this is what we need to focus on, we'd be in a very different position today.
No question about it. And Joe, Kevin McCarthy refused to answer questions about the RNC censure despite repeated attempts from our Manu Raju and other reporters up on Capitol Hill. What is going on with Kevin McCarthy? You served with Kevin McCarthy. It's like with Trump, there just seems to be no bottom.
Jim, I did serve with McCarthy. He's a hollow man. He has no core. All he gives a damn about right now is he wants to be Speaker of the House. He doesn't care about the country. He doesn't care about the state of his party. He wants to be Speaker. Again, Republican silence. Kinzinger and Cheney are censured for pursuing the truth about an insurrection. And all of these Republican officials don't say a damn thing. This is where the party is right now.
And Molly, I mean, final thought from you. I mean, my thought yesterday is the RNC should be censuring people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Adam Kinzinger, not Liz Cheney. Should be censuring people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Madison Cawthorn, not Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they want the small dollar donations and they don't care about democracy. So ultimately, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are celebrated and people like Adam Kinzinger are censured. And it's just the larger term effects of this are going to be terrible for democracy.
All right, Molly,
Jim,
fast.
Jim, it does make
sense
thought. Because this is where their voters are.
It's where their voters are, and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are commanding a lot of fundraising these days, and the other members in the party are taking note of that. Molly, Joe, thanks so much. We appreciate it.